Hi, Brendan here with another episode of Coach Guy TV. Today we're going to talk about one of the scarier aspects of investing. And that aspect is the fact that a lot of your destiny, really all of your destiny is outside of your hands. So today's presentation is whose hands is your destiny really in? And I'm going to bet that you've never met that person, the person whose hands your destiny is really in when it comes to your investing and your American dream. I had this conversation because the other day I had a conversation with a woman. She said, I'm really happy with my investments, and the fact is if I move my investments, I feel like I would be betraying my advisor who I've been with for more than 10 years. And I think she's under the impression, like a lot of people, that her destiny is determined by her advisor, when in fact her advisor has little to nothing to do with her, how well or how poorly she does. So the case that I'm going to make is whose hands is your destiny really in? And actually, it's the fund manager. You take your money, you invest in a 401k or an IRA or something, your money goes into a fund, and it's the fund manager. What they do, what they don't do, that's going to determine how well or how poorly you wind up doing. Case in point, this Fidelity Blue Chip Fund. Their fund manager, her name is Sanu Clara. She's been the fund manager there since January 1, 2009. Now, I'm going to bet, and I think I would win this bet, that the overwhelming majority of the people who have invested in this particular fund have never had a sit-down, face-to-face meeting with Sanu Clara. I would also make the case that most of the people, be it they're investing with Vanguard funds, Fidelity funds, whatever fund you want to talk about, have never had a sit-down conversation with the person who's actually managing their fund. And it's really, really scary to have your destiny in the hands of somebody you've never met, and they don't know you from Adam. To make this point even further, ask yourself a couple of questions. Have you ever had the opportunity to determine whether or not you agree or disagree with what that manager is doing with your money? Let's just say for the sake of argument, you did have that conversation. And let's say for the sake of argument, you didn't like or didn't agree with what that fund manager is going to do. Could you pick up the phone, in the case of Fidelity Blue Chip Fund, could you pick up the phone and say, hey, Sanu, I don't like what you're doing with my money. Please stop that, and they would heed your warning. Again, most likely that's not going to happen. So how do we deal with this? How do we get your destiny back in your hands? How do we get control of your investments back in your hands? Well, we're going to do a presentation, Separating Myths. It's going to be on Saturday, November the 9th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's going to be the Inn at Villanova. We're going to have a fabulous breakfast buffet. You go to CoachGuy.com. Again, we're going to deal with one of the scariest aspects of investing. The fact is, your destiny is not in your hands. How do we get destiny back in your hands with clarity? Bye.